Hey guys, what is going on? And today, yes, that is right, we're looking at the new game Fortnite. I just picked it up recently. It was actually released 4 days earlier as a closed beta if you pre-ordered it. The full release of the game comes out on the 25th, but you know what? I'll take any early access we can get. So I'm just gonna give you guys a quick basic guide on how everything works. This game is like Plants vs Zombies and Minecraft combined. I know that sounds really awesome and really weird at the same time, but you know what? That is what it feels like to me. So I'm just gonna go over the basic things and yeah, let's get right into it. So first off, the one thing you will always need, or the one thing you should always know, is that there's 3 materials in the game. And I know that's really simple, or sounds really simple, but that's honestly it. There's 3 materials. There's wood, there's stone, brick, and there is metal. Now, the game looks really confusing if I say there's only 3 things, because you could see all these things. But in reality, everything you break is just going to be one of 3 things. It's either going to be wood, stone, or metal. As you can see right here, I'm destroying these, garden plant thingies, whatever, and it's just giving me stone. If I come over here and destroy this fencing, it's going to give me metal, and if I destroy the plants behind it, or if I destroy the tree, it's just going to give me wood. So it's just as simple as that, and the game just builds off of that little system right there. Now, when you first start off the game, it's going to be you and 4 other people when you're playing online missions, and you guys are just going to spawn in a random area, and you're going to just go around destroying everything. That's basically it. You guys want to gather as much material as you can, just search everything. Now, obviously, there's more materials than just wood, metal, and brick, but that's the basics. Over here, most of my teammates were just breaking down cars and breaking down the houses to get as much things as you can, and it's going to be used later to build other materials and the forts that we need to protect ourselves from the monsters. Now obviously there's houses in the game. You can go ahead and look inside. They're going to give you random like survivors and closets you can search, and those are where the materials you need for weapons and traps are going to come in. Now, obviously, you're not going to find everything in the first few missions you play, because you will need to level up to unlock them. Like right here, I got a survivor, and he gave me like this little present, and inside it had a few crafting tools, and I used that later to build like a shotgun or a auto rifle. And over here, these closets, you don't want to ever destroy them. You can destroy them, but there's really no point. If you search them instead, you'll get the more rare or more exotic type of materials that you need to build better stuff. Now, always search and always destroy things. That's the basic. Now, the second thing is the objective of the game. So once you guys spawn in, you're going to have to find whatever the objective is. Now, for us, we came up to this thing. It was called the Atlas. And basically, once we had found it and created it, we had to defend it. Now, it was in the middle of nowhere, so it took some time to find. And obviously, we were also just spending like 5-10 minutes just gathering tools. But this is it right here. Now, it varies depending on the mission. For us, it was protecting this Atlas. Sometimes it's protecting, other different types of things. Sometimes it's crafting something. But the basic agenda is just going to be protecting things from waves of monsters. Now, this is the fun part of the game. Aside from the fighting and wave protecting, you get to create your own base. Now right here, my teammates went ahead and they were creating this brick wall, and this was just the base. They were going to build it all around everything, but I went ahead and went to the side just to show you guys how it works. So the building system is really simple in this game. So like I said, you have 3 materials, which basically means you could build 3 levels of walls or 3 levels of defense. So the first one is wood, and you can create a wall, a plank on the floor, stairs, or a roof. And if you actually use the other materials, it will basically give you the more powerful version. So wood being the weakest, brick being the second strongest, and metal being obviously the most powerful. So this is the brick one, and then if I move on ahead, this is the metal one. So I'm just going to go ahead and build the wood one just to show you guys. It takes a few seconds. If you build the other ones, it'll take a little longer, but nothing too crazy. Now the cool thing is you can actually edit these walls. Now right here, I'm going to go ahead and take away the middle square and the one right under it. And basically what that'll do is it will create a door. So you basically won't create a wall and you can't walk through it, that would be dumb. So you can go ahead, now you can create doors wherever you want. Now there's another cool thing you could actually do that I found out recently. Once you build a wall, if you take out the top 6 top 6 squares, what it'll actually do is create this little barricade, which when the monsters come, it'll actually stop them. It's weaker than the wall. They can destroy it, but it allows you to shoot, without having to go out of your wall area or find a roof. So you always want to build a base floor as well, because that's a must for traps. You can't build traps on anything but a floor itself. Now I went over here and built stairs. Now obviously I'm doing this away from the fort. You always want to do it near your fort or near the objective or whatever. Like my friends are over there, they're actually using brick. Obviously that's a better idea than wood, but I'm doing this just to show you guys how it works. So with the stairs, if you go up and you go to the very front of the stairs, you can actually build a second floor, which I did right here. Now, this obviously isn't going to protect anyone, so I'm going to go ahead and build walls. Now, that's what I love about this game, is your creativity. You can literally build it any way and anyhow you want. Now, one thing I'll say is I had already cleared it out, or it was already cleared out from before, but you always want to destroy the random items that are in the way. If there's trees, cars, or whatever, you can't build anything. Like right here, if I wanted to close the thing, there was a car right there. Not an issue, I would just have to destroy it. I'm just going to leave it there for now, but in any case, whenever you're building your fort, or you're building your objective, make sure you clear out the area in front of you. Now you see my teammates here, they had already built everything, or they're really good along the way. I'm just going to go ahead and unify that so they can also come to my area. Now one cool thing is that you can actually build traps. Now there are 3 types of traps. There's floor, there's ceiling, and there's wall. And obviously, as you can tell, that just is where the placement of the trap is, but they're different types of traps. So I'm just going to go ahead and select the floor trap, and we're going to go ahead and pick the, I guess, the basic one. So it's really easy to build. You just need a few of the materials like that you can get from just destroying trees and walls or whatever. But one thing, if you notice right now, I can't place it anywhere except for the wooden floors that I've built myself, which is why you need to do that. Otherwise, you won't be able to build traps. So this basic trap basically does is if zombies or the monsters, whatever, if they step over it, it will give them damage and it'll slow them down. So that's one cool thing. Another trap you could build is a wall trap, and I like these ones a lot. You know, they're really useful because you can put them outside of your fort and they'll do a lot of damage to the zombies. So we're gonna go ahead and pick the dart shooter. So basically what this does is it just shoots darts, and each of these traps have different, you know, requirements or building craft tools that you need. So you got to search around the map. In the beginning, it's gonna be tough to just understand what goes where. Just keep searching. Once it'll become second nature, knowing what belongs for what, and it'll just become so much simpler. Now, I was going to go ahead and build a ceiling trap, but I didn't have any of the tools unlocked for it, or I didn't have any of the materials, or enough materials at least to create one. So I couldn't do that, but the ceiling traps are pretty cool. One of them is like, it electrocutes any monsters that walk under it, and it slows them down. So again, just really useful things that you could put around anywhere. Literally anywhere for your fort. Now right here, as you can see, my teammates obviously did the right thing. They built just one massive fort around the Atlas, and we're going to continue ahead and build another layer. Now you have infinite time. If you want to, you know, get a bonus at the end of the game, you should do it as fast as possible. But right here, I opened up the weapons menu, and basically this is where all your stuff is, aside from building a fort, building weapons. Now if you come to the top right hand corner, or the most right tab, you have the ingredients. Basically this is just the stuff that you pick up. This is your backpack, basically. You know, all the materials you gather from around the map, you can hold them here. Now if you come to the first tab, you actually have all the weapons you could build. Now once you play the game, or when you start the game, you won't have these. You actually unlock them by playing different missions and completing different objectives or quests, whatever. So you don't have to worry about that. You'll get the schematic, and once you get the parts, you can build them. Now there's 2 things. There's durability and ammo. So ammo, it's really simple. You just hold the reload button for whatever weapon you have, and it'll give you more ammo. And durability, actually you need to pay attention to that, because once every weapon has durability, so it'll break. It doesn't stay there forever. So you always want to make sure, you know, you have another weapon ready if the durability for the one you have equipped is low. Over here we have the melee weapons. I didn't have anything crazy. I just equipped the sword, and if you can notice, we only have 3 slots, so you can have 3 weapons at a time. Over here you have the ammo types. You know, different ammo for shotgun, machine guns, pistols. Again, I don't worry too much about it because I just hold the reload button and it'll give me the ammo that I need. Most of them take wood, some of them will take different things. Just varies on the weapon you have. And here are the traps, and I just look here to see what materials I need to build them. Now, obviously, this game revolves around protecting your fort and building it, so creativity is a huge plus. Over here, we had finished completing our fort, and we were just quickly building a 3rd layer. Now, for our mission, we had to go towards the Atlas, and we had to activate it. And what that did is it activated a 8-minute timer, and there were just these monsters that started spawning out of nowhere. Now, if you actually notice on my mini-map, there are these purple clouds, or these purple circles. That's basically where the monsters will spawn from. Now, this is just the early missions, so there were only 2 areas they were spawning from. They were spawning from north, and if you can tell, obviously there's north, south, east, west on the map. It makes it simpler so you can coordinate with your friends. I was covering the north end with one other buddy, and 2 of the other teammates were covering the east, sort of west side of area. And as you can see, this is a big guy. Now, again, this is just the early stages of the game, so there weren't too many different enemies. We only had, I think, like 4 different enemy types, but mainly we just got the basic enemies that were slow and walk. But the more you progress into the game, the more tougher the enemies get, but also at the same time, the better weapons and traps you have. So it's a nice little thing. Obviously, this game is really interesting just the way it is right now, because I was just trying to figure everything out, you know, what's the best trap, what's the best weapon to use, all that stuff. And another thing, see, what we did here is we didn't put the floor down, so we didn't have any traps there. I actually had used most of my traps over there in the wrong area. So again, it's just learning. Once you figure out where and how they spawn, it'll become a lot easier. Now over here I'm using a sniper rifle. There's so many weapons you could use. I haven't even locked, like, I think a tenth of them. You know, I'm just using the basic weapons, but that's just how it is. And once that timer ends, you want to make sure you have as much health or as much Atlas health as possible. You always get bonuses for that, and that's really useful because that's what gives you the schematics for unlocking weapons and stuff. You know, you want to finish those objectives. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. This was a basic guide on how to play Fortnite. It's honestly a really simple game. It's so much fun. I was really looking forward to it. Once I saw the trailer, I knew this was going to be the next, you know, big Minecraft style, you know, Plants vs. Zombies style. I always like those survival games, horde games, and with so much creativity involved, you can make the most amazing forts. You know, right now I've only built like squares around my protection or as my fort. But as the game progresses, more cool things will come out. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Leave a sub. I hope you like my content. And yeah, catch you on the next one.